So I have my spinach. I have 4 things of zucchini here that I'm going to use for my noodles because I'm trying to do, I'm not doing, I guess it's kind of like a keto diet, but not really. So instead of using noodles, I'm going to use a squash and see how that works out, since technically yellow squash and zucchini is both squash. So we're going to try it out and see if it works. I got my turkey pepperoni. I have, gotta have my peppers, so I'm gonna have that all cut up. And I have some stuff that I already had here at the house. I'm gonna use this basil. I have more basil. I'll use that in my meat spaghetti sauce. This is some basil I had left over. I tend to overbuy, but I was trying to make enough, not just for me, but for my mom in case she wants some. So I got 2 things of spaghetti. You know, I'm a veteran, so I'm used to, my mom always talk about how I always make too much, but you know, there's a method to my madness here. This is some leftover spaghetti sauce that I'm going to use. And over here, these are the seasons I'm going to use. Vegeta, I'm not going to use a lot because this is a little salty. We love this ranch dressing. Oh my god, this the business right here. So I'm going to use this. And you know, this is some pink, I can't pronounce that, Himalayan salt. My mom told me this has a lot of health benefits, so I'm going to use that for my seasoning. Then I have, as you can tell, I like my stuff seasoned. Original dash. Ooh, salt free, so I ain't gonna worry about this. Of course, you gotta have Italian and spaghetti, so I'm gonna use Italian seasoning just because you're supposed to. Lawry's seasoning salt. Yes, Lawry's. And some more DoorDash table blend. Now, I got all this stuff here. I don't know. I may not have to use it. I'm just going to season it to taste. Then I went to the dollar store. Now, I know this may, well, I don't know. This may look big, but these are really, really small. When I try something out for the first time, you know, I always get really small pans. You know, that way, you know, if I don't like it, I'm not wasting my food. And I just realized I forgot something here. I'll be back with you in a minute. Spot. So this is actually dairy-free cheese alternative, and I use dairy-free products because I am lactose intolerant. So I got these cheese slices. I'm gonna use this to kind of layer the top of my spaghetti and make it look good. And then I also found these, and this stuff is not expensive. It's not cheap. My bad. I wish it was not expensive, but this stuff is not cheap. But I tried this before. This is pretty good. This is vegan kale shreds, and again, I got this. Gotta have cheese in my spaghetti, but because I am a lactose intolerant, I can't have a lot of dairy. It tears my stomach up. So here we go. Another good product that I use is Daiya, D-A-I-Y-A. They're also a good product. Non-dairy. I got 2 bags of those. And then I was gonna just, you know, I had some chicken in the freezer. I was just gonna pre-cooked chicken. I was gonna shred it, but I said no, I'm gonna use some ground chicken. So this dish is, I guess it's kind of like keto because it's like a keto dish, but you can make this a vegetarian or vegan dish. Very easy. Instead of using ground chicken, you can use, and I've made it before, you can use, they call it like vegan ground crumbles. And you can go on YouTube and literally find all kinds of recipes on how to make vegan ground meat. Okay, so because I have this budget-friendly camera, which is AKA on my phone, and it won't let me do what I want to do, I'm going to start off with cutting up my zucchini and see how that come out first, since I'm using yellow squash instead of zucchini. And what I'll do is, you know, I'll just take pictures and add that into my video so you can see how I'm doing it step by step, and hopefully this will come out. But the plan is to, you know, cut the tips off cut it in threes, small enough to where I forgot to mention my small spiralizer. Yeah, y'all, I'm on a budget. So, and you know, contrary to popular belief, you can't eat healthy on a budget. But can't afford a big spiralizer right now. And I'm kind of on a budget because I, trying to do some other things. So I found this thing on Amazon for $10 and it works pretty good. Okay, so how this thing works is that this is not only a spiralizer, but it's also a small container. So say if you have, some veggie left over, you can kind of screw this top off and you put this on top and you can save for later. But anyway, so what you do is you kind of, this part is where you put the other one end of the vegetable on this part, and squeeze it on there, and then what you're gonna do is kind of lay it on here and twist. And it has 3 settings on it, so of course I'm gonna pick the setting for spiralizer. And what happens is when you twist it, it's gonna go into this container. And what I'll do is I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. Again, because I have this wonderful budget-friendly camera. So here's how it looks. It has that ribbon effect. So okay, I think this is gonna work out. All right. So this goes on this end, and you turn it with your hand, and it comes out like this. And when you get enough of it, I'm gonna dump in the bowl. So when I get it all spiraled, I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so I chopped up my peppers and my spinach. Spinach, I think I'm gonna put that in there last. But I'm gonna go ahead and saute my peppers and then add in my ground chicken. I'm about to do that right now. Enjoying the video so far. So here I started sauteing down my peppers and I added in some minced garlic. And I either use light olive oil or vegan butter. And you can get that at any major store, supermarket. Here I added in my chicken and cooked it in with the peppers. And then I started to lightly season that. And the next one, you'll see that I add in my spinach. I don't know if you ever seen spinach and spaghetti before, but I like it. So I added in the spinach and sauteed that down. The next thing I did after that, the last thing I did to finish off my meaty spaghetti sauce is I added in a jar of spaghetti sauce. I used roasted garlic. And, I could make spaghetti sauce from scratch, but I was cutting corners because I'm meal planning and it's already very time consuming. So on the next part of this video, you'll see how I laid out the I got all my noodles spiralized. And in the next video, you'll see how that looks. I got it all laid out in the pan. So I will see you in a minute. Okay, so here is how the squash looks when it's spiralized, and what I'm gonna do is layer it. So this is the first layer. I'm probably just gonna do photos after this. I already did photos of the spaghetti sauce and stuff, so I'm gonna layer it. 2 of the pans I'm gonna do with spaghetti sauce, and my mom, she cannot have tomatoes because it acid, the acid in it. I don't know if I'm saying that right, acidity. So I made her a different sauce, and I took a picture of it. It's kind of like a cheese pesto sauce, meat sauce. So that's how I'm gonna do hers. And it's slamming, or at least it's slamming to me. So it looks good, So I will when I go ahead and get it layered and stuff, I'll show you the finished product when it's raw, and then when it's done, I'll show you. So what I forgot to say is that because this is not regular noodles, this is spiralized squash, I'm not going to cook it. We've made that mistake before when we tried to, cook squash and, any type of veggie noodles raw. We try to cook it like pasta, but you can't do that because it gets real soggy and it turns to mush and it's just a hot mess. So what I'm doing is leaving it raw. I made sure I rinsed it off and all the good and cleaned it. So, and then everything is going in here is pretty much cooked. So it's not going to cook for long. I'm probably going to leave it there for about 10-15 minutes and then see how it come out, So yeah, but that's how I'm gonna do the noodles. I'm gonna leave them raw, and then they'll cook in the sauce, cook down some, and then see how it come out. All right. As you can see here, I layered it like I said I was gonna do in the previous slide, and I started off because the pans were so small. I was only able to do 2 layers, so I started off with the spiralized yellow squash, a little bit of vegan cheese and pepperoni, and then meat sauce. You'll see that in the next part of this video, and you'll see that in the next video over here to the left. You know, after I layered it, I topped it off with some more cheese, and over to the right is the pan from my mom. I used like a pesto cheese sauce. I used half, you know, I used half Velveeta, and then the rest I used vegan, and then pesto. You know, and I didn't know if she liked the squash. I just made her a small pan, so she just got one. And here, once I layered it off, I topped it off with vegan cheese. I think it's like vegan cheddar flavor. And I think I used 3 slices of each pan. And topped off pepperoni. And then right here is the finished product when it's completed out of the oven. I didn't let it cook very long because, you know, everything was pretty much already done. And then this is just a sample. I tried it out. It tastes pretty good to me. And then in the next slide, you'll see this is one of my meals. I had me like a salad. You know, I try to eat like half my plate. I try to load it up with salad. I had a biscuit. You know, I tried to make sure I don't eat too much, you know, bread. So I'm trying to do it like a low carb diet, and then that on the other end is the spaghetti. So there you go. I will share what I did in the description. I don't really want to call it a recipe because this is purely experimental. So but I'll share what I did in the description section in case you want to try it out. Basically I didn't use any recipe. I just remembered making spaghetti, and I just, you know, substituted stuff. Instead of using noodles, I use squash. You know, instead of using ground beef, because I don't eat a lot of red meat, I use chicken. And you can also use any type of like vegan meat, vegan ground if you're a vegan or vegetarian. Instead of using real cheese, because I can't have cheese, I just used non-dairy cheese. So basically it's just making spaghetti and just replacing, you know, your usual ingredients you put in spaghetti with other ingredients to make it keto friendly. All right, that's it. I'll see you in the next video.